Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 18. I'll be reading from verses 1 to 4. 1 Samuel chapter 18, verses 1 to 4. I probably will not be able to share everything I would have loved to share, but whatever I share, I believe the Holy Spirit will teach you everything else. Amen. Bible states in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 18 from verse 1. The Bible states that now when he had finished speaking to Saul, the soul of Jonathan was knit to the soul of David. And Jonathan loved him as his own soul. Saul took him that day and would not let him go home to his father's house anymore. Then Jonathan and David made a covenant because he loved him as his own soul. And Jonathan took off the robe that was on him and gave it to David with his armor, even to his sword and his bow and his belt. The Lord bless the word. Bless the reading of his word, I beg your pardon. Amen. This morning, I want to talk to us about something I've titled Choosing the Right Friends. Choosing the right friends. As we know, for those that have been coming this month, we themed our month of divine connections. And we have looked at divine connections from different angles. We started by looking at divine connections from the angle of our connection with God, being divinely connected to God. And I explained that is the most important kind of connection. Because without that connection, every other connection is irrelevant. Without that connection, every other connection cannot work. Every other kind of relationship we have will be a struggle. So that's the most important, ensuring that we are properly and divinely connected to God. And then 2 weeks ago, I spoke about the significance of divine connections, and I spent time talking about the importance of having a mentor, a spiritual father, and the benefits of it. And then last week, Pastor Tumishe spoke about how to maximize our divine connections. And in the course of a month, I explained that there are different formats of what you call divine connections. You can be divinely connected with people in different ways. So you can have the mentor to protege divine connection, where you're connected to a mentor or a protege in a way. You can have a spiritual father with a spiritual son or daughter connection. You can have a husband to wife connection. And I explained that you can also have a peer-to-peer connection where you're connected to a friend. There's a sort of divine connection between you and a friend, whereby you're connected in a way. And this morning, the focus of my teaching is on the peer-to-peer a connection, which is why I've titled Choosing the Right Friends. Because it's very important, the people that you call your friends. The people you call your friends can determine your destiny in life. The people you call your friends can determine where you end up in life. And let me put it this way. What you'll find out is that a lot of times when we say somebody is our friend, a lot of times, really, they should be our acquaintance, not friend. Because when I talk about friends, I'm talking about the people that we allow to get close to us. The people that are in our inner circle. The people that we allow to speak into our hearts. And it's very important for us to understand that those people are very key to our life. They are key to our destiny. They are key to what we become in life. You cannot choose your brother as a biological brother, but you can choose your friends. And a lot of people have not learned how to choose the right friends. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, I was talking about the fact that if you have a friend that does not add value in your life, then in reality, you should reassess or reevaluate what they are doing in your life. Why? Because a friend should be able to add value to your life. Amen. And let me first of all start by saying that one of our greatest desires as human beings is to have relationships, to have friends. What do I mean by that? You'll discover that even when God, Pastor Tumishe was sharing last week, when God created man, he came down to have a relationship with him, to talk with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And God has created us in such a way that we have a desire to have a relationship with people. We have a desire to have friends. We have a desire to be liked by people and to like people. And this desire is even evident from childhood, when you hear people talking about, oh, my best friend. You know, a lot of children, when they are young, they have one best friend or two, different things or groups. And what you discover is that desire as we grow up, we still have it. There's an inner desire in us to have friends or to be connected with people. We need friends. We need friends. We want friends. Friends are important in life, but it's the right type of people that are key or should be significant to us. And I've discovered that many people don't have an understanding of what friendship really is. Are you hearing me this morning? A lot of people don't have an understanding of what friendship should be or what true friendship should be. And this morning, I'm going to spend a few minutes talking about that, talking about the importance of it. Why is it important? The Bible states in the book of Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24. Proverbs 18:24, it says that a man who has friends must himself be friendly, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. It talks about a friend that can be closer, because you can have some friends that they can be more, even closer to you than your biological brothers or siblings. Why? Because you've developed some kind of connection. Like I said earlier, you can't choose your brother, but you can choose those you want to be in your inner circle. Why are we spending time talking about this? Well, as I prepared the message, or as I was thinking about the message, it occurred to me that even with Jesus, you discover that Jesus had some people that were close to him. Everybody did not go to the mountain of transfiguration with him. Why is it? Why did he choose James, Peter, and John? Why didn't he take all the disciples? Why? Because there were a few people that he allowed into his, should I say, inner circle or inner caucus. There are some people that saw what others did not see. Are you hearing me? And you discover that even after the 3 people, he had the 12. So the 12 were different from the 70 that he sent out later. They were different from the multitude. So that makes me to understand that it's not everybody that you open your heart to. It's not everybody that you open your door to. It's not everybody that you draw close to. It's not everybody that you hug. When I say hug, I don't mean physically, but, in terms of emotionally and spiritually. And let me be clear. The Bible states that we should love everyone as Christians, but we should not necessarily, no, the Bible doesn't state that, but I'm telling you. So the Bible tells us we should love everyone, we should love people. But that does not mean that we should draw everybody close. Jesus, when he was on earth, loved everyone, but it was not everybody that he revealed his heart and his secrets to. And what you find is a lot of people, they are quick to reveal their hearts. They are quick to reveal their secrets. They are quick to reveal those things that they shouldn't reveal to others. So those that are meant to be acquaintances in their life, they draw them into their bedroom. And it's not everybody that is meant to know what's happening in your marriage. It's not everybody that is meant to know what's happening in your home. It's not everybody that is meant to know what's happening in your business, in your life. It's not everybody. Are you with me this morning? This thing is very key. Why? Because the friends that you hang out with, the friends that are close to you, will determine your destiny. There's a saying that show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. But let me put it another way. I'll put it another way, that show me your friends and I'll show you your future. Because your friends reveal where you're going in life. Have you discovered that usually when some people migrate to a new country, the people that they live with initially or stay with, maybe in the first 6 months or a year, usually determine their view, their concept, and perception of the country. Yeah. So if you happen to live with someone that has been struggling for years, and all they've been doing since they came to this country is a cleaner, you'll discover that by the time you believe that an immigrant cannot rise beyond being a cleaner. I remember many years ago, do I have time for stories? Okay, let me do. I remember many years ago, when we had a commercial cleaning business. And we wanted to get a cleaner. I don't remember whether it was supervisor level or I don't remember which one. Anyway, I interviewed the guy. And the guy was showing me and trying to make me understand that he's a professional cleaner. He said he had cleaned in Birmingham, in London, he told me different cities. So he was telling me that professionally he's a that's, I doff my hat to him that. Now, there's nothing wrong with, please, if you're a cleaner, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's when you now settle. Sometimes, you struggle when you first come in. I used to do mini cabin many years ago as a student. So, there are phases, there are stages in life. But when I was doing mini cabin, I did not think mini cabin was my future. Are you hearing me? And sometimes the people you hang out with, the people that are closest to you, the people you spend time talking to, will usually determine how you're thinking, where you're going, your perception, your view, your vision in life. I've met people that think that, this country, everything is against them. That their thinking is that the system is against us, as in immigrants. So immigrants could be from anywhere. It could be from East Europe, could be from Africa, could be from, that they think that everything is against us. Whereas some people, you meet them, it's like we are going to the city. That this country, that we are going to be the... so we are going to own businesses, multinational businesses. We are going to own properties. We are going to be the politicians, the PMs, and MPs. Yes. But once again, it depends on who you hang out with, the kind of people. Are you hearing me this morning? Bible states in the book of Proverbs 13:20. I like your amen. Bible states in the book of Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. Bible states there, it says that he who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. Once again, that makes us to understand that the people you move with will determine a lot in your life. Many people use the word friend loosely. But in reality, the truth of the matter is that a lot of people don't have true friends. And you'll see when I start talking about it. A lot of people don't have true, real friends. A lot of people, in your lifetime, you might find out that maybe 5 people, I read somewhere, I don't know how true that is, that it's about 5, 6 people in a person's lifetime, that people that you can really say true friends. That's about 5 people in people's lifetime, usually. I don't know how true that is, I read it somewhere. But let's go on. Because of time, I'm going to jump a couple of things. And let me spend time. Let me just talk about some of the characteristics, some of the things that we should look for in a friend, and also we as well. And I'm saying this because it's good for us. We are talking about divine connections, and people sometimes we think that, some people are our friends, we are connected with this person and things. But sometimes we need to reassess certain things to see that, okay, what category should this person be in the multitude category, like Jesus puts certain people? Should this person be in the James, John, and Peter category? Should this person be in the 12 disciples or the 70? And it doesn't mean you stop relating to them, but it's you having an understanding of what you reveal, how close you are, what you allow to, how you relate with them. Are you getting me this morning? In the book of First Samuel. Okay, let me, time will not permit me. Okay, let's look at 1 Samuel chapter 20. 1 Samuel chapter 20. Let's talk about the characteristics of true friends. First of all, a true friend is loyal. A true friend will be loyal to you. In the book of 1 Samuel chapter 20 from verse 12. 1 Samuel 20 verse 12. The Bible states there, it states that then Jonathan said to David, "The Lord God of Israel is witness. When I have sounded out my father sometime tomorrow or the 3rd day, and indeed there is good toward David, and I do not send to you and tell you, may the Lord do so and much more to Jonathan. But if it pleases my father to do you evil," notice that. He's talking about his father. He says that if it pleases my Father to do evil, then I will report it to you and send you away, but that you may go in safety and the Lord be with you as he has been with my Father. And you shall not only show me the kindness of the Lord while I still live, that I may not die, but you shall not cut off your kindness from my house forever. No, not when the Lord has cut off every one of the enemies of David from the face of the earth. Next verse. So Jonathan made a covenant with the house of David, saying, let the Lord require it at the hand of David's enemies. Now, first of all, the kind of friendship they had is deeper than what I'm talking about today. The kind of friendship they have was a covenant friendship, which is even deeper than just having a divine connection and friends. But what you'll discover, what I want to bring out from there, is that what you'll discover in that scripture, in that passage that we just read, is the fact that Jonathan was loyal to David, even much more than his father. Let me explain. He realized that his father, Saul, wanted to do evil to David, that he wanted to kill him. Now, because of the friendship they had, or covenant, he warned David and spoke to him about it, that, look, you know what? The king, the father, wants to kill you. So you'd better run away. He was showing his loyalty to his father. Why? Because to his friend. Because his father wanted to do evil to him. Now, you need to understand something. What was he doing there? He had his back. A true friend will have your back. Are you with me? And you discover that later on, David himself was loyal to Jonathan. Some years later, after Jonathan had died, the Bible states that David went looking and said, is not there someone left from the house of Saul that I may show mercy to him? And he went looking and found Mephibosheth and brought him back into the palace based on the friendship that they had. There are some friendships, I was saying, that are transgenerational. Based on the loyalty, based on the covenant that they had. You discover that there was a case of, I've got your back. You know, what you'll discover is that some friends are what you call fair weather friends. So when things are going well, they are there. But then when things are going tight or bad or not so good for you, you can't find them. There are some friends that they are only there for what they can get. There are some friends that are only there because they want to get some kind of benefits from you, or because they want to be connected in a way so that they will get some kind of approval or affirmation or something. But the kind of loyal friends are the ones that will stick with you through thick and thin. Are you hearing me? And those are true friends. Irrespective of what you're going through, they are there. Time will not permit me. Let me move on. Let me explain. Sometimes a true friend may not necessarily agree with you, maybe on a decision, but will say, I respect your decision, but you know what? I'm here for you. Are you with me? They may not necessarily have the same opinion concerning certain things, but they are there for you, and you can be certain that they are loyal. I was saying, any friend that comes to you and is talking about somebody else behind their back, you can be certain that they will be talking to somebody else about you. Did I say that right? Okay. So any friend that gossips about other people, that's not a friend. Because you can be certain that they will, when they leave your place, they will go and tell your whole business to the next third party. Are you hearing me this morning? Let's move on. A true friend is dependable. So when we talk about, and we are talking about divine connections, the kind of people we should be divinely connected with, you can depend on them. The Bible states, like we read earlier in Proverbs 18:24, I'm not going to bother to expand on it, that talks about a friend that is closer, or sticks closer than a brother. That means you can depend on them. You can depend on them. And then, a friend, true friend, will tell you the truth Let me repeat that. A true friend will tell you the truth. In the book of Proverbs chapter 27 verse 6. Proverbs 27 verse 6. The Bible states that faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are what? Deceitful. Let me explain. But sometimes it's unfortunate because sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. That's the unfortunate part. But a true friend will tell you the truth even if it hurts. In the sense that, you see, I would rather have a friend wound me than have a kiss from my enemy. Let me explain. There are some people that are kissing you, but behind their hand, there's a knife. Oh, let me explain. In the scriptures, the Bible talks about Judas. We know the story very well. Judas followed Jesus for about 3.5 years when he chose his disciples to win him. So he followed him for about 3.5 years. He went to the Garden of Gethsemane where he used to take them to pray. And at the time he was about to betray Jesus, he is the one that took them to the Garden of Gethsemane. And then, do you know what? What did he do? The Bible makes us to understand that he kissed him. While he was kissing him, what was he doing? He was already. Are you hearing me? But a true friend, how did I get to Judas? That's not what I was saying. But a true friend will tell you the truth. You know, and sometimes it may not be what you want to hear, but it will be what will do you good. Did you get that? Oh, let me explain. I don't know, if you have a relationship with God, there are times that maybe in your prayer time, at least it happens to me. There are times during prayer, maybe I'm praying or I'm reading the Bible, and God starts talking to me. And he may not, sometimes it's not what I want to hear. And it's painful. You know, he says some things concerning my life that I sort out this life, this part of your life and things. And it's painful. It's not what I want to hear, but it is what will do me good. That's how true friends are. Whereby it's not what you were hoping. So usually when I go into God's presence, when I pray, I want God to encourage me. I want direction. I want vision. I want a new world. I want new revelation. But sometimes that's not what he says. Is anybody with me? Or is it just me that it happens to? You know, I once heard somebody say something. That it is not everyone that carries a knife that is an enemy. You didn't get that? There are different types of knives. There's what you call a surgical knife. Now, when you go to the doctors or when a person has surgery, what does a doctor do? A doctor carries a knife, but the knife is not to hurt you. The knife is to help you get better. And the knife is usually to remove something that is attacking your body or dangerous to your body or detrimental to your body. Now, it's the same way when a friend tells you the truth. Sometimes it's painful, it's like a knife, but it's a surgical one trying to help you get better. Does that make sense? A friend sharpens you. A friend sharpens you. Proverbs 27, verse 17. Proverbs 27, verse 17. Bible states that as iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of a friend. What does that mean? When you call somebody your friend, when people are close to you, then they ought to sharpen you. They should add to you. When you talk, you should leave the place inspired. When you pick up the phone to speak to them, either you encourage them, they encourage you, or you challenge each other, or you're inspired by the time you finish. If you have a friend and all you talk about is football, then I'm talking about people that are close. You know, there are some social topics. Football is a social topic. I enjoy talking about football. But you won't find me picking the phone and gisting with you about football. If you are my friend, no. If you're at a party, if we were at a gathering or something, yeah, we can, just. But A friend, you should sharpen. Listen to me. If all you do is pick up the phone, you are talking about football, what does football add to you? Or you are talking about politics. As in politics for the sake of politics. It's a different matter if you want to go into politics. That's different. You are saying you want to take the... But if all you are talking about is politics, and just for politics, you are criticizing everything and whatever, what are you going to do? What value has it added to you? Or you are talking about Coronation Street, about Love Island, about EastEnders, about Friends. What has that done to you? Now, with people like that, I won't call that a divinely connected friend. That's an acquaintance. Are you getting me this morning? In the sense that, I was saying during the first service, there's a certain pastor friend of mine. Anytime, I don't speak to him often, but anytime we speak to each other, we inspire each other. By the time I finish speaking to him, I feel inspired. I feel challenged. By the time he tells me, the things that he's doing or the things that they're planning to do, or we're just sharing scriptures and things, by the time I leave, I feel challenged, I feel refreshed, I feel renewed. And then he too, he was saying the same thing that in fact, I was saying earlier, I didn't know. He was telling me that, he follows our messages online. And he was telling me that when we declared the word of the year, that he received it for his own word. And I was thinking that he's going to listen to the series at the beginning of the month. Why? Because he thought he's going to get some. I feel challenged and inspired. And that's how friends are. You challenge each other. You sharpen each other. You improve each other. Friends are your divine. Those are the kind of people that should be your close circle. Not the one that will pick up the phone. Have you heard? Hey, what happened? This is latest gist. This is what happened. So some people, I don't know. I'm just saying. I believe they are not in this church. But some people, they have friends that they talk to every day. But what they talk about is nonsensical. Is there a word like that? Okay. There are some words we use, when we were growing up. It was after I grew up, I realized that they don't exist in the dictionary. When we were growing up, there are some words that we used to use. Anyway, let me move on. Are you getting something? Are you getting something this morning? Is there anyone that used words like that when you were growing up? Amen. Amen. When you challenge each other, you feel inspired. There's a sense of excitement. There's a sense of, you can do certain things. You can go further. You can. I have certain friends. There's some business area as well, like that. That when we talk about business, I feel challenged. I feel inspired. Or when we used to, let me put it that way. Okay, moving on. A friend will love you at all times, will love you for who you are, not what they can get from you. Anytime, if you have someone that anytime they call you or they are in touch with you, they want to ask for something, then the question is, do you put them within your... What do I mean by that? It won't be based on how you behave. They will love you for who you are. They will love you for the kind of person you are. It's not going to be based on what you do or do not do. But it will be based on the fact that they will realize that, look, there's a divine connection between us. And we don't always need to agree. We may have our differences. There will be times that we will, argue or have whatever disagreements. But, hey, I love you all the same. And those are friends that are divinely connected. Moving on, a friend that we should be divinely connected to is someone that you can trust. Very key. Someone that you should be able to trust. A friend would you'll be able to show them your wounds, and they will not use it against you. Let me explain. Actually, let me actually talk about in the marriage setting. I said this during the first service. Sometimes what you discover is that some couples, one of them might share maybe their challenges, their weaknesses, or what they went through growing up, or what have you. And they're sharing their deep secrets with their spouse. And then sometimes when an argument comes up or disagreement, that spouse now brings it and uses it against them. And what you discover is that is a grave error. Why? Because immediately the trust is broken. It immediately becomes, I cannot trust you with the things that are hurting me. I cannot trust you with the things that are my weaknesses. I cannot trust you with the things that nobody else knows about. Is anybody hearing me? And what tends to happen in situations like that is immediately that spouse now puts up a wall, and they don't start. The things they share with their spouse automatically it becomes, they filter it. But going back to friendship, with a friend, a true friend, you tell them your deep secrets. You'll be able to tell them what's going on in your life. You'll be able to tell them your vision. And you can be certain that they will not go and tell a mutual friend or a third party. You can trust them. One of the things as pastors that by the grace of God has helped us with is that trust and discretion. As a pastor, you need discretion. There are some things that people have told me that by the grace of God, until I die, it won't come out of my mouth. So another third party. Why? Because it's a trust, a position of trust. Are you hearing me? A true friend, you'll feel safe to share things with them. You'll show. I don't want to use that concept, but okay, let me use it within the marriage. One of the things that we always say when we do marriage seminars and things. Bible talks about Adam and Eve. It says that they were naked, but not ashamed. The nakedness, things that, look, nothing, I trust you. When you're naked before someone, it means I trust you. I feel safe in your presence. I feel that you will not do me harm. You will not reveal. You will cover my nakedness, if need be. Are you with me? Moving on. I need to, wow. Okay, we'll begin to round up. You'll discover that people that are true friends are happy with your progress. They are happy with your progress. Let me explain, because you may not understand this. In life, when you have triumphs, when you have victories, when you have testimonies, when God is doing something great in your life, a lot of us, we want to share with the people. And what you'll discover is that some people, as you share it, the minute you share it, they either downplay what you just shared with them, or they belittle it, or what they do is they now find something else that, me too, God did this in my life. Is this making sense? I want you, so for people like that, that's an indication, because what they should be doing is rejoicing with you at that point. Even if they have something they want to share, they should leave it till some other time. But they should be encouraged. Praise God. You mean God did that in your life? My goodness, that's an awesome testimony. But some people, they mean, no, it's no big deal. That's an indication that I'm not sure they're happy. Although not the same thing. If you remember when God gave Joseph a dream, and he went to tell his brothers, remember their reaction. Their reaction, what do you mean? You mean that we will bow before you? That shows that they were not happy with they were not happy with where God was taking him. It's not everybody that you think is happy. You know, one of the things I've discovered, they're just saying that, truth of the matter is that there are some times that God will be progressing you or progressing your friend in a certain area financially, in their career and things, or business-wise, but you don't seem to be making the progress. There's nothing happening. A true friend, even if they are stagnant or nothing is happening in their life, they will be rejoicing with you for your progress and happy for you. And they will just challenge them and inspire them that if God can do it in your life, he can do it in my life. Are you hearing me this morning? Okay, let me give you one or two more. Proverbs 27 verse 9. Bible says that ointment and perfume delight the heart, and the sweetness of a man's friend gives delight by hearty counsel. A friend, after you talk to them or leave their presence, you feel refreshed. I think I mentioned this before anyway. But you feel refreshed. It says that the great sweetness of a man's friend gives delight by hearty counsel. So it's like, you know, let me explain. Some people, by the time you finish talking with them, you are drained. It's like the whole world is on your shoulders. I remember many years ago, this was before we started the church. You know, there was this lady. I mean, she was just a member of the church that we were going to there. Anytime you say, it's like everything. How are you? Oh, my week was this. After some time, when I see her coming, God bless you. I'm confessing my sins. Because by the time you finish speaking to her, you are thinking, oh dear, the sky is about to fall. Well, a friend will leave you refreshed. By the time you are refreshed, you are renewed. Let's move on quickly. John 15, verses 12 to 13. John 15, verses 12 to 13. Bible states there. It states that this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, than to lay down one's life for his friends. Now, this is Jesus speaking. And we know Jesus was talking about the fact that he laid down his life for us. And we are his friends. He says, no greater thing, love, than to lay down your life for your friend. Now, that's Jesus laying down his life. There's no expectation that you lay down your life for your friend. That's not what I'm talking about. But it's the principle there. And what's the principle? The principle of sacrifice. A friend will be willing to inconvenience themselves and make sacrifices if they need to in order to assist you or do certain things with you. Many people, it's only when it's convenient. Many people, it's not a matter of commitment. It's just a matter of convenience. But a true friend will maybe sacrifice their time. Will sacrifice certain things. Why? Because you are their friend and you have a need in your life. Let me end with that. A true friend. A true friend does not hold grudges. Is ready and willing to forgive. When you offend them, they don't hold it to heart. They are ready and willing to forgive. This morning I've come to talk to us about divine connections from the perspective of friends that we have and choosing our friends. One of the key things that I believe God has given us is the ability, the choice, who we hang out with, those that are close to us. Let's choose wisely. Let's rise up and pray.